Hello everyone and welcome to a new video on my channel. In this video, I'm going to discuss about TCP three-way handshake process, which is a very important part of computer networking. And if you do like the videos that I post on this channel here, do subscribe to my channel and also like the video. What is TCP three-way handshake process and why it is used in computer networking? So as we know that TCP is a connection oriented protocol. That means if client and server has to communicate with each other, like if they have to exchange some data, then first they have to establish a connection. The process of establishing a TCP connection is called the TCP three-way handshake. So as I told, that client and server has to establish a connection before they can actually start exchanging some data. And for establishing the connection, you need this TCP three-way handshake. And what actually happens in this TCP three-way handshake is that many TCP variables are initialized on both sides during the handshake process, and also buffers are allocated on both the sides. So we will see later that some TCP variables are initialized on both client side and also on server side. Similarly, buffers are also allocated on client side, also on server side. So these buffers are basically useful for storing the data that is sent from client to server or from server to client. Those will be stored in these buffers. And also TCP connection is a duplex connection. So what do we mean by duplex connection here? So it means that, so once the connection is established between the client and the server, now the flow of data can happen on both the sides. That means client can also send data to the server and server can also send the data to the client. That's why it's duplex connection. Also, since we are discussing about TCP protocol here, since TCP three-way handshake is a part of TCP protocol itself, so let's see the TCP segment structure here, which is very, very important. So if you look at some of the important headers here, so you have source port, you have destination port. Now the sequence number and acknowledgement number are very, very important in the TCP three-way handshake. And also you have a lot of flags here also, like which can be either set to 1 or either set to 0. So some of the important flags that we will see in TCP three-way handshake is SYN flag and also ACK flag. These are two of the important flags that we will see here. So what are sequence number and acknowledgement number? Okay, let's look at a definition of both of them. And we will understand this better with the help of examples. So do not worry if you do not understand the definitions here. So sequence number, if you see, it is the byte number of the first byte of data that the host is going to send in the segment. And acknowledgement number is the next byte of data that one host is expecting from the other host. In some time, I will explain both sequence number and acknowledgement number with the help of some examples. And these state variables are maintained on both the client and server. Okay. Initially, I told you, right, in three-way handshake, what happens? Like some state variables are initialized on both client and server. So these are two of the important state variables which are used in the TCP three-way handshake process. And these variables, state variables, are stored on both client and the server side. So let's first try to understand what is sequence number with the help of this example. So here we are trying to transfer a large file. So let's say you have client, okay, and you have server. And this client wants to send this large file to the server. Okay. In that case, what it will do is, so if you see the size of the file here is around 5 lakh bytes. So this is a very large file. And MSS, if you see, so MSS is maximum segment size. Okay. So basically whatever segment you see, you have seen segment here, right? What is the maximum data that can be sent in one segment? Okay. That maximum amount of data is actually fixed. And in our connection, the MSS is equal to 1000 bytes. That means the maximum amount of data that can be sent in one segment is only 1000 bytes. Okay. So let's say if you want to send 5 lakhs bytes of data, then you have to break this down into different segments. Now, this is the first segment here, right? From 0 to 999th byte. If you look at the definition of sequence number, the byte number of first byte of data, right? That host is going to send in the segment. So what is the byte number of first byte here? So this is the first byte here, 0, right? What is the byte number of this? That is 0. That's why sequence number is 0. Now in the second segment, if you see, what is the byte number of first byte? So first byte is here 1000, right? 1000. So that's why sequence number becomes 1000. Now what will be the sequence number for the third segment? It will be 2000. Okay. Similarly for fourth segment, it will be 3000. So that's what sequence number are. Now let's try to understand TCP three-way handshake process. And here I have the TCP segment because we will see, because as I told, right, in TCP three-way handshake, sequence number, acknowledgement number, and two flags like a SYN flag and ACK flag will be used a lot. That's why I have put it here. Or let's say we have a client here, okay, and we have server here. So this is basically our client, and you have the server here. And let's say the client wants to start a connection with the server, okay. So whenever client wants to start the connection with the server, it has to follow the TCP three-way handshake process, okay. So in the first packet, what it will do, it will send the first packet, okay. In this, what will happen, you will have SYN flag set to 1 in this, okay. So basically in this packet, if you see, so if you remember from the TCP IP protocol, right, there are around 4 layers, right. You have 4 layers. So in the first, you will have application layer, then you will have transport layer, and then you will have network layer, and then you will have link layer. Okay. Now we are mostly concerned with the transport layer here. That's why I have drawn the TCP segment here. That is a part of transport layer. We are mostly concerned with this, and we are not concerned with other layers like application layer, network layer, and link layer data when we are actually sending the packet. But of course, in this packet, all these 4 layers data will be sent, right? All will be there. But we are only concerned with transport layer data here. So in this segment, now SYN flag, if you see, this is the SYN flag here. This will be set to 1, and also what the client will do, it will initialize its sequence number, okay, to, I mean, it will be actually some random number. Do remember, it will be actually some random number. But for this example, we will initialize this to 0, okay. But this is very important. Do not think that client will initialize the sequence number to 0. No, it will initialize sequence number to any random number, okay. Now, what will happen? This client will then send this packet to the server. Now server will receive this packet, okay. And SYN equal to 1 here means that, okay, client wants to establish the connection with the server. Now server will see that, okay, in this packet, SYN is set to 1. So it will understand that, okay, client wants to establish the connection with me. And if the server also agrees to establish the connection, it will send another packet. In this, SYN flag will be set to 1. That means, I mean, server also wants to establish the connection. And ACK flag will also be set to 1. ACK flag is set to 1. What it means is that the server is acknowledging the request from the client. The first packet that the client has sent to server, it is acknowledging that. Now, the server will also initialize its own sequence number. And again, this will again be any random number that is generated on the server side. But for this example, we will take it as 0. Okay. And also, it will also have an acknowledgement number, and this will be equal to whatever the sequence number of client was plus 1. That means it will be 1 here. Okay. If you go to the definition of acknowledgement number, it was the next byte of data one host is expecting from the other host. Okay. What this means here is that when server is sending this ACK equal to 1, that means the next time server is expecting first byte of data from the client. Okay. But you will think that, okay, client has not sent any data in the first packet, right? Then why it is acknowledging the 1 byte of data, right? Why it is acknowledging that? It is just a dummy byte of data that server assumes in this TCP three-way handshake process. And client will also assume this dummy byte of data. You will see later. So if you see in this, if you see ACK flag and SYN flag both has been set to 1 here, okay? And this is acknowledgement number equal to 1. Now, and server, what it will do here is it will also, as I told you, right, it will allocate the buffer for storing the data, because now server has agreed on the this connection. So it will allocate these buffers. And also, of course, as I told you, in TCP three-way handshake, state variables are also initialized. So client has already initialized the sequence number to 0, and server now also has initialized the sequence and acknowledgement number to some number. Now what will happen? The client will receive this packet from the server, that is the second packet, and then it will see that, okay, SYN flag is set to 1. That means server is also agreeing on this connection. And it will also say ACK flag is set to 1. It will see that, okay, server has sent its own sequence number, and it has also sent the acknowledgement number. That means it is acknowledging the first packet that client has sent. Now what it will do, it will again send another packet, third packet, okay? And in this, ACK flag will be set to 1. Only ACK flag, SYN will not be set to 1 now, only the ACK flag will be set to 1. Also, if you see, the acknowledgement number is 1 from the server side. What this means is that the server is expecting, I mean, first byte of data from the client from now onwards. That's why sequence number will now become equal to 1, because from now onwards, server is expecting first byte of data. And that's what is sequence number, right? Sequence number is what byte of data that client is going to send to server. And then it will also acknowledge the packet that the server has sent, and it will update the acknowledgement number through client acknowledgement number to 1 here. Again, one more question will arise in your mind, that why this acknowledgement number, the client acknowledgement number, has become 1. Even through, if you see, the server has not sent any data. So why the client is telling that, okay, the next byte that I expect from you is first byte, right? So again, that's how TCP three-way handshake works. Both client and server, they assume one dummy byte of data in the whole three-way handshake process. Okay. And now if you see, the whole TCP three-way handshake is done. Okay. And each of these steps has a name here. Okay. The first step name is SYN. Okay. Because only the SYN flag is set in the first step. That's why the step, the name of the first step is SYN. Okay. The second step, if you see, both SYN and ACK flag are set. That's why it's called SYN ACK step. The last step, again, if you see, only the ACK flag is set. So last step is called as the ACK step. So overall, you can also call TCP three-way handshake process as SYN, SYN ACK, ACK. Okay. Okay, let's take this example a bit further to understand more. So now let's say after the three-way handshake is done, the client wants to send some data, okay, to the server. Okay. So let's say it sends some data. For example, in this, again, ACK flag will always be set to 1, because whenever you have acknowledgement number, ACK flag will be set to 1. And since it is sending the data, you will have some more flags set. Push flag will also be set to 1 when you are sending some data. Okay. And then you will have the sequence number. So as I told, do remember, you have sequence number and acknowledgement number stored on the client side. You also have sequence number and acknowledgement number stored on the server side. Both are state variables stored on both the sides. Okay. So whenever client was sending the packet, it was appending its own sequence number and acknowledgement number. And whenever server was sending the packet to the client, it was appending its own sequence number and acknowledgement number. Now, if you see, the sequence number and acknowledgement number is equal to 1. So it is sending the data. Now sequence number will remain 1 and acknowledgement number will also remain 1. Okay. Now the server will receive this data. Okay. Also there will be length of data, like how much data the client is sending. Let's say the length here is 10 bytes of data. Okay. Client is sending 10 bytes of data to the server. Okay. Now what server will do? Server will acknowledge that. Okay. It will acknowledge that. So it will set the ACK flag to 1, that I have received the data. Okay. And again, sequence number from server side will not change, because of course it is not sending any data. It is just acknowledging this. So sequence number from server side will remain 1. But what will change is the acknowledgement number. Why? Because see, what is acknowledgement number for the server? It's the next byte of data that server is expecting from the client. So now what happened? It has got 10 bytes of data, right? So what is the next byte of data that server is expecting from the client? So it will be expecting the 11th byte of data. So whatever the sequence number is here, you add it to the length of data, and that will become the acknowledgement number here. Now what will happen is sequence number will become 11 for client, and acknowledgement number will still remain 1, because server has not sent any data in this. Okay. So now if we see what happened, right? Acknowledgement number was 11, right? This was set up on the server side, acknowledgement number 11. That means the server was expecting 11th byte of the data in the next packet that client sends to it. And that's why sequence number has been updated to 11. That means that, okay, from now, the client will be sending from the 11th byte of data to the server. And you would have seen one pattern now, right? If you see here, whatever was the acknowledgement number from the server, that became the sequence number for the client. Okay. Here also, if you see in this step also, whatever was the acknowledgement number from the server, that became the sequence number for the client. So this you will see all the time. So whenever one host is updating the acknowledgement number, that, okay, I have received some bytes of data from you, the other host will again update the sequence number with thus whatever acknowledgement number that the server has sent. Now let's look at a Wireshark example to understand the TCP three-way handshake process. We are going to open this website, that is http URL echo app spot.com/echo body equal to hello. So what this website will do is whatever you are assigning to this body parameter. So here I am assigning it to hello. It will display the same thing, hello itself in the browser. So this is the Wireshark capture of all the packets that were involved in this when we actually opened this website in the browser. So these are all the packets, but we will look at this flow graph here to better understand it, because you do not understand much through this Wireshark capture here because there are a lot of lines here. This flow graph gives a better view of what is happening. So this is the client here. So from which machine the request was made. The IP address of this machine is 192.168.0.102. And this is the server IP address. So basically where that website is hosted, that is 142.250.77.148. And also you have the client port number, and also you have the server port number. Client is using 55355 port number for this communication. And of course, server will be using 80 port since it is a HTTP server. Now, if you observe the first three packets here, these three, you can see in the first three steps, what is happening is the TCP three-way handshake. So you can see the SYN flag, as I told you, right? The first step is called the SYN step. The second step is called the SYN-ACK step, and last step is called the ACK step. So you have the three-way handshake here. And client will initialize its sequence number to some random number. Similarly, server will also initialize its sequence number to some random number. But what the Wireshark will do is it will display you the relative sequence number. So what this relative sequence number means is that, so let's say if the initial client sequence number that was generated on the client side was some random number, okay? This something like this, okay? Now what the Wireshark will do is it will relate this sequence number to 0, okay? And let's say if the next sequence number is 102348, okay? Now this will become 2 for Wireshark. So it's working on the relative sequence number basically. And it's just for easy understanding for us, okay? So instead of having this big number, if the Wireshark converts this to a relative sequence number of which is starting from 0, then it becomes easy for any user to understand the whole flow, okay? So if you see the sequence number is 0, of course, in the first step, sequence number is 0 from the client side. And if you see the server has, of course, SYN and ACK flag are set from the server side, and sequence number is 0 and acknowledgement number is 1. That's what we have seen in this example here, okay? Whatever we have seen in this example, the same is happening here. And again, in the third step, if you see sequence number is 1, acknowledgement number is 1. Now in the fourth step, if you see what happens, the client is making a GET request to the website, okay, to that website. So this is the request here. And of course, here you will have a lot of data in the request, right? What is the website name, what type of request it is, and if there are many headers in this request, like all those data will be there. So those data is of around 98 bytes here. So this data will flow from client to server. So you will also have push flag and ACK flag set. So push flag because you are pushing some data, ACK flag because of course you are having acknowledgement number here, right? So ACK flag will always be set. And what is the length of this data you are sending? That is 98 bytes. Now you have sent this data to the server, okay? Now what server does here is that the server acknowledges that, okay, it has received 98 bytes of data. That's why if you see sequence number for server will not change, but it is acknowledging that, okay, I have received 98 bytes of data. That's why it is incrementing the acknowledgement number from 1 to 99 now, okay? And sending this packet with the ACK flag set. So now client will see that, okay, basically server has got that data, okay, whatever it has sent in this packet, 98 bytes of data. Now in the next packet, if you see, server is sending some data to the client, of course, because you can see that the length here is 267. That means, of course, some data is being sent from server to client, and also push flag is set to 1, acknowledgement is set to 1. So as I told you before, the website, what it does is, whatever you are sending in body, okay, let's say if you are sending hello, the server will reply with this hello itself message in this packet. Of course, the length is 267 because of course, since this is a HTTP request, again, server will also have a lot of headers in this. The reply will be there, the headers will be there. So overall length of this will be 267. So in other words, you can say this length 98 is the HTTP request size, okay? Request size. And this length 267 here, that is replied from server. This will be again HTTP response size, okay? And then the client will receive this data from the server, okay? In the next packet, if you see, client is acknowledging the data it has received from the server. And if you remember from the last time that client has sent the data, so this is the last time when client has sent the data. In that case, if you see sequence number was 1, acknowledgement number was 1. Now, if you see sequence number has been updated to 99 because a server has told, right, it has received 98 bytes of data and it is expecting 99th byte of data from the client. That's why sequence number became 99. And also, if you see the client is acknowledging the 267 bytes of data that it has got from server, that's why it has updated acknowledgement number 268. What that means is that the next byte of data that client is expecting from server is 268 byte of data. And the next 3 steps, if you see, these are the steps for terminating the connection itself. So of course you can establish the connection, and this client and server can also terminate the connection. So we will look at this separately in a separate video, how this connection termination happens. I hope that with the help of this example, you would have understood what sequence number and acknowledgement number are, because this is a very good example to understand that. And if you do have any doubt, do go through this, like how the sequence number, acknowledgement number is changing, and then you will understand it better. So now I will show you all the packets in detail. So whatever the first packet was, second packet was, I will show that in detail. So the first packet was a SYN packet. Okay, so you can see that. Okay, in the flag section, if you see, SYN flag is set to 1. Okay, and also you can see the sequence number is 0. And this is, if you see, this is a relative sequence number. That's what Wireshark is telling you, that this is not the actual sequence number that the client is initializing. This is just the relative sequence number. So I have modified in the next packet, if you see, that is the SYN ACK packet from the server to the client. You can see that again, sequence number is set to 0. Acknowledgement number is set to 1. And you can see that SYN flag is set to 1 and acknowledgement flag is set to 1. Okay. In the next flag, that is ACK packet from the client, the third part of the 3-way handshake. In this, you can see sequence number is set to 1 and acknowledgement number is set to 1. And you can also see ACK flag is set to 1. Okay. Now, of course, the 3-way handshake is done. Now, HTTP GET request goes from client to server. So you can see here that sequence number is still 1. You can also see that acknowledgement number is set to 1 here. Also, one important thing in this packet is that it is saying that there is a TCP payload of 98 bytes. That means there is some data in this packet. And you can also see the data belongs to Hypertext Transfer Protocol or HTTP GET request data that is there in this packet. So you can actually look at what this hypertext data here is, that is of 98 bytes. You can see this here. So you have the GET request for this /echo $body equal to hello, HTTP version is 1.1. The host name is url-echo.appspot.com. User agent and other information are also there. Next, you can see that there is ACK from server that, okay, it has received this GET request from the client. So it's acknowledging that. You can see that the sequence number remains still 1 for the server, but acknowledgement number has changed from 1 to 99 now because it has received 98 bytes of data. It has updated this. Now in the next packet, if you see, the server is replying with the HTTP response. So you can see here that sequence number is 1. Okay, acknowledgement number is still 99. And you can, one important thing you can see here is that push and ACK flag are set because of course it is transferring some data. And if you see, a TCP payload is of 267 bytes here, right? And you can also see there is the hypertext transfer protocol data here. So again, if I go to next one, you can see what is this hyper transfer protocol data here. So this is the reply from the server that it is sending. This is the data here. So it is sending that HTTP 1.1 protocol with 200 status code. Okay. And then what is the content type? Other headers are also there in this. Also, if you see the last thing, that file data is of 5 bytes. As I told you, right, this is the body equal to hello. So what the server will reply, it will also reply with hello. Okay. And this data is of 5 bytes. That's why it's written here. File data is of 5 bytes. That will be hello here. Now client will receive this, this response from the server, and then it will also acknowledge that response. So if you see here, sequence number became 99 from 1 because it has already sent 98 bytes of data. That was sequence number 99. And acknowledgement number, if you see, it has changed from 1 to 268 because it has received 267 bytes of data from the server. That's why it has updated the acknowledgement number to 268. And you can also see that ACK flag is set to 1. So these are all the different steps, and you can go through all of these in details if you want to, like if you don't understand any of this. Now for further reading, you can go through this too. So this is this one is the important blog written on important steps, like what happens in 3-way handshake that I have explained here also. But again, you can go through this also. And there's again one more video also that I like a lot. Which explains the TCP 3-way handshake in very simple way. So you can go through both of them to understand TCP 3-way handshake better. So that's all for this video. And if you do like this video, do not forget to subscribe to my channel and also like this video. Thank you.